Yeah.
Are we recording?
We're recording.
Oh, jeez. Burning up that clock.
Hey, Internet. I'm Chaz.
And I'm Dan. Welcome to Wine is Serious Business, episode 202. We hope you liked the outtakes that we just showed you last week. That's always a lot of fun to put togetger. Yeah, we haven't aired it. I haven't put it together yet. But by the time you guys see it, it'll have been up for a week. So
Always my favorite.
We're excited about that. Want to say thanks to Chris and Mark and John for commenting on episode 202. Really appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And today, we're doing wines from Colorado. And why is that?
I just took a vacation in Colorado. So we talked about it, I think, in a previous show, like towards the end, like, hey, going on vacation in Colorado. And so while I was there, stopped in I went to Jamestown, Colorado, which kind of got cut off during the whole floods that happened there. Thankfully, my uncle lived just outside of Jamestown. It didn't get, it was actually a road to his house, so it didn't get completely washed out, and I was able to get there. While I was there and hiking around, I stopped at a shop in Netherlands called Peak Wine and Spirits. That's the name of the shop.
All right.
And I walked in, very helpful woman there. I said, hey, I want beer and wine from Colorado that I can't get in Oregon. And she directed me towards these, and a whole assortment of beer that have been fantastic since then. So
shout out to favorite beer.
The Oscar Blue stuff has been awesome.
All right.
We have an off-camera pour today, Matt. So what's up?
Whatever.
So yeah, the Oscar Blue stuff I think has been the best. So
cool.
I really liked it. But I bought just 6 packs of random stuff, right? Like one of their Pilsners and one of their lagers and one of their ESBs, and just all right.
So there's not a lot of personal knowledge behind these wines. These are just recommended.
These
right?
Not even recommended. Colorado didn't have, even for a Colorado wine shop, didn't have a huge selection.
Okay.
Right, of Colorado wine. They had a surprising amount of Oregon. I was impressed.
Oh, interesting.
So this, I actually would have ended up with 2 Cabernets, but I saw the Pinot Gris and was interested because it's something we do so often here in Oregon, and I was like, okay, so we have a Pinot Gris, a Chardonnay, and a Cabernet.
All right. So this is from the 2012 Pinot Gris from Canyon Wind Winery. They're in Grand Valley, Colorado. I don't even know where that is.
Valley.
Do you know where that is?
No.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Oh no, but their winery is in Palisade, which we just looked up.
Okay. Yeah,
and
that's in Grand Junction.
It's in the direction of Grand Junction, so kind of on the west side of the Rockies, which I wouldn't have guessed. I would have thought that the wetter, more amenable to grape growing side would have been the east. But what do I know about growing wine in Colorado?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
So, all right, let's try it out. Oh wait, Matt, get up in here. Yeah, sorry.
A little bit of Pinot Gris flavor or scents going on, but kind of lemony, a little funky though. Something, a little barrel funk, something going on.
It's really for me only lemon and green apple, very very tart green apple, But
I don't know. I'm getting something musty. It's not, not really bad, but not terribly engaging either. Let's see how it tastes. It's pretty clean on the palate, though, I think. That green apple flavor comes through. They're kind of light.
Yeah, but it's there and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
There is not much of a finish at all. Totally. Green apple, again with the lemons. A little bit of a sort of citrusy acidity sticks in the cheeks just a little bit, but it's there and gone. Very, very clean, direct, and short.
Yeah. The more I taste a little bit of that
2012.
I'm gonna go away from musty even
too.
and just be maybe the apple's been just sitting on the shelf just a little while, getting a little bit of that. And it's not like the moldy, right? But just the apples get just get a touch oxidized. Maybe that's a little bit of what's going on.
It's all that's left over is acid in the finish. It's kind of fruity initially, and then it's just acid.
I'm getting a little bit like candy apple flavor. Not doing a whole lot for me. Drinkable, but that's about it. I'd say that's 80 points for me on the nose, right?
Yeah, totally.
Nothing really upsetting. Kind of some decent flavors, but doesn't get my attention a lot.
Clean, easy to drink, but completely. Really boring. So I'm gonna go 80, 81 points somewhere in there. Yeah. So a little Renaissance action. On a Chardonnay. So this one, this winery, Two Rivers, Chateau Deux Fleuves Vineyards.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. Yeah.
Two Rivers is what.
Oh.
The English. I got that from the back. That's not any French
on
my part. Yeah. So.
So this one, the only reason I was wondering a little more is they had some really good information on this one, and then the price was a little higher for these ones, right?
Interesting.
Which,
okay.
you know,
from this producer.
From this producer, okay. And so there was a Cabernet also. The Cabernet was the most expensive Colorado wine they had at like $24 or something like that, $23. This one, so I should say the Canyon Wind was I think $12.99. This one was a little more expensive, around $17.
Sure.
So we're starting to get up into, you know, expecting. We start around $20. I expect a little bit of quality out of the wine.
Yeah, and Mesa County, right? So regional designate. I don't know if that means anything in Colorado, but.
So where's this winery? I don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure, but still cool to see.
No, Grand Junction, Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's from Estate Vineyards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see what we got.
So that 2011. Yeah. Holy California up in the glass.
Smells like Chardonnay.
Yeah. Smells like a mallow bomb. Like big time buttery oak.
Yeah.
What is it, like mango, almost cantaloupe-y, but.
I'm getting more towards the cantaloupe, not so much tropical for me.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of that. Lots of mallow,
like orange,
oak,
orange fruit. Like I guess mango is more yellow fruit. Yeah, it's maybe peachy then. More
sure. I can go with that, but rich, right? Like rich on the nose, but you know, that works for me sometimes.
Yeah. This is like a Rombauer, a Colorado Rombauer.
Sure. Nice. No, I can see. That's clearly what they're going for, right? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, this is not the stainless steel, right?
No.
Racy, crisp.
No, this is 100% new French oak, most likely. Who knows? Or oak chips. 100% new French oak chips. Wow, that's rich. It's like drinking creme brulee.
Ooh.
Holy shit. That's like almost desserty, it's so rich.
It is.
Wow.
It kind of works for me in that context.
So, yeah. It's dry, or most of the way dry. I'd say it's dry based on the finish.
Yeah, I think it's dry.
But man, it's insanely rich. This is probably the richest Chardonnay I've ever tasted.
Wow, I would not say that. But
seriously?
Yeah.
Well, as far as with the structure, the way it is.
I mean, you're talking about the Rombauer as an example, right?
Yeah.
That's heavier.
Yeah, okay. I kind of wish I had another bottle of this to
yeah,
try the two against each other.
Comparison. Like this is, this is what 13 alcohol?
13.6,
I guess.
Yeah. It's definitely a very rich wine. Very, very. The mallow and the oak is right out in front. The rich sort of like peachy components are sort of there. But man, it's like, yeah, it's got this like creme brulee sort of like rich custard thing going on because of the amount of mallow and the amount of oak. Something I haven't had a Rombauer in a long time though.
So me neither, I guess.
This is easily the richest wine I've tasted in a very long time, but.
And I'm getting some good apple flavors underneath, like right in the forefront is all of that kind of like kind of that butter and a little bit of caramel that we were talking about. I'm getting a little of the fruit underneath and some acidity kind of in the back, but that richness, that buttery component just kind of sits in the front for too long. And I kind of wish it would kind of evolve into the acid or whatever would be, I think, a cleaner experience.
Yeah, it's almost like when you drink a dessert wine and it doesn't have enough acidity to balance the amount of sugar, and so it leaves like all this sugar and this sort of cloy, like people call it cloyiness.
Sure.
This is like a dry wine that's almost cloying. Like it's like literally still on my tongue and in my cheeks. I'm just like.
And when it's right on the palate, like right as I'm drinking it, I really like it. But I think Yeah, I think the oak lasts a little too long. Like I'm actually like edging towards like getting excited about it. I'd be like, yeah, if this finishes up crisp and clean, I'm gonna really feel it, and then it gets heavy, and it doesn't finish up crisp and clean. Right. So, still cool for like a not famous wine growing region. I think they have some good fruit flavors going on here.
I think they got some potential, right? Like they're like Dan said, there are some very nice things going on initially with this wine, and some things that you don't see very often, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the finish is just sort of really takes away from the wine.
You know, and if I came across one that was like like done in neutral oak, I'd be really excited to try it.
Now I wish I'd bought the Cabernet from this producer.
Yeah, so I'd be totally excited to try it, because part of it is like kind of our stylistic take too. I think if you really love the buttered Chardonnays, this would easily be a couple notches above how we feel about it.
Yeah.
So for me, I still would enjoy drinking another glass of this.
Correct.
Or this.
Correct.
So that's gonna.
It's different and it's somewhat complex. Like like you're sitting there thinking about like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. So I'm gonna put it at 84, I think. So there's definitely like stuff that I'd like more, but there's some good things going on now, and makes me interested in trying more Chardonnay from Colorado. So a decent start, I think.
I agree. 83 points for me. Like I said, it's got some wonderful things going on initially, but man, the finish, just the way that flavor lingers for just far too long is, really taking it away from me. So, but still, like I said, something completely different and exciting to see from a region that we've never heard of before.
Yeah.
So that's always wonderful.
And I hear good things about Colorado. I hear that it's kind of an up and coming growing region, so I actually am kind of excited to try this stuff. And I do hear from like kind of some of our winery friends that it is a good market for Oregon wine too, so it's cool to see that you found a lot of it out there. And I think that's a big part of...
I should have bought the more expensive bottle. So this is another cheaper bottle.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't know, we'll keep that in context, right?
Yeah. True. What were you saying? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I mean, it's just cool that like if there's a culture of appreciating wine, that leads to supporting the local wineries, and that's the sort of thing that over time evolves into higher and higher quality, right? So.
Well, they've already got the beer culture set. Like, I have just as many breweries as we have here, and like people that are excited about them, they have that there. Like, cool. So with that, they obviously have the culture to be excited about the stuff that they're producing and the stuff that they're doing. So hopefully that'll transcend into wine. Nice. Granted, I was in the wrong area for that. There was a lot of there was breweries in Nederland, but you can see all three of these guys are all the way in West Colorado, which is not where I was at. So, all right. So the last one we have is the Bookcliff Vineyards 2011 Cabernet. It's 14.3 alcohol, 100% Colorado grown, in near Palisade, Colorado, California. So yeah, a bunch of young wine, but this one was $14 or $15 a bottle. So, like I said, I was kind of wanting to step to the more expensive one, but I didn't want to have two from the same show. I kind of saw some variety in here, and so I jumped at the variety. Yeah,
and right next time you're back, you probably would pick up another bottle of these to check out, right?
And based just on how weird the Two Rivers was, I would buy their Cabernet. Like I'd I gotta find a bottle. Right? We might have to buy one and bring it on the show later. So, all right.
It smells like cab.
It really does.
So it's got kind of a little bit of blackberry scents, kind of some like this cassis or like just dark berries, and then that like green blackberry bramble, right?
Yep.
And it seems like kind of some younger Cabernets, or especially around this price point, you get a little more of that green out.
Yes.
It's definitely showing here. Not to the point of it really being a turnoff, but it's definitely present.
Mm-hmm. And the fruit plays like on a sweeter edge on the nose. Like it's not like fresh fruit, or it's not like fresh fruit. It's like there's almost like a added sweetness to the nose, just a little bit. So that helps balance that greenness out.
Really soft on contact.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, boy, again, talking about cabs in this price point, it's softer than I expect all the way across.
Right.
Tannins take a long time to show up. They're there.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of the greenness makes it onto the palate. It's more like really sweet fruit. I don't even know where to go.
I'd say dark cherries. I'd say
really?
some dark cherries.
I feel like almost raspberry fruits or something like that. It's very, very like soft and red, and and far softer and more approachable than I would expect.
Like no shortage of acidity either. Boy, right. as it sits on the finish, it's really like sinking in. A touch of lemons, I think, late.
And yeah, and paired with that sort of acidity. Overall, a nice wine, but again, you know, quaffable.
Yeah.
Definitely not a. It's
very simple. There's not like a lot of evolution going on.
No,
right?
It's straightforward.
Transition into the tannins. There's a little bit of a gap there.
But
again, right? So how much did you say it was? 14?
Like 14 or 15 bucks.
Yeah. So for Cab at that price point, honestly, from anywhere, I think this keeps up with $15 Cabernet I've had from anywhere. Right. Certainly, I've had better ones, but I've had many, many worse ones too.
That's a very good point.
So good job. I think really. I think, yeah, this is a solid, like something that I bet maybe you have at glass pours in Colorado, and I can see it working well for that. Chaz and I don't drink a lot of Cabernet at this price point, like just for casual drinking, in large part because that's not what they make around here, right? That's just not the culture that we're in. So we're not too tied into it. But like I said, it's consistent with what I've experienced in other places.
I completely agree. For score, I'm going to probably go 84 points. I like it a touch more than this. Honestly, like if I was going to all three of these, I would take a glass of this over all three. I find this one the most interesting, however, the Chardonnay.
Sure.
But as far as like the most easy to drink, and I wouldn't hesitate to get it on a glass pour depending on the price. Yeah, the Bookcliff is nice. Dan nailed it. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 84 points as well. Right? It's yeah, definitely for different reasons. Like, right, this one is a little more interesting, but I like some of the flavors a little more. This one is more simple and kind of generic, but it works. And I think again, like if you're looking for a Cabernet like in this price range, this is worth checking out. The real downside to that is I don't think it offers anything uniquely Coloradan. Right.
That's a good point.
Like you could also blind me on it,
right.
and I don't. It also just kind of blends into the field of Cabernets from there. But again, for an up and coming wine region, that's still something, I think. And like you said, there's probably higher priced ones. Like I'd be really curious to see what their like reserve bottlings taste like, or if they've got a $25, $30 bottle.
And they have to. I think this was just a simple like you run it. Netherlands is kind of shut off from the rest of the world, and this was also happening right around the time of the Colorado floods.
Sure.
And Netherlands was like without power for good portions of that. So who knows? Maybe I just hit them at a time where they didn't have a lot of selection.
Yeah, and honestly, like if I saw like someone doing a glass pour or something of a higher tier bottle of this, I'd actually definitely be interested in trying it now. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's cool to see. So good picks. I guess. What was the name of the shop again? You got them
from? Peak Wine and Spirits in Netherlands.
Nice.
Netherlands a rad place, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, that's a great place.
Cool.
So I got a question today.
Good.
Did you?
No. If you're on.
Okay, so it was based on this Two Rivers Chardonnay. I would say it's the weirdest representation of a standard grape that I've seen in a long time. In your recent memory, what was the wine that was the weirdest that was a standard grape? You see what I'm saying?
Like, I see what you're saying.
Like the Druscal Pinot Gris is a prime example of that.
Sure.
Right? It's strange Pinot Gris that just nails it.
I'm glad you said that because that's kind of where my mind was going. I was trying to think of some other.
So sometimes producers make a Chardonnay or Cabernet or Pinot in a very strange style that will like affect you. For me, it was like the Teutonic Battle Wine.
Sure, totally.
From 2010, right? Like 10% alcohol. And I was just like blown away by it. Anyway. What's the last one of those that's caught you off guard and made you, I don't know.
Made you think a little bit.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Did you like any of these, Matt?
The Pinot Gris, actually.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so differing opinions on the show. We'll see you guys for 203.
Looking forward to it.